Good. Looks good on my end. All looks good on my end. Nice connection here. Yep. Nice and clean, JR. Nice and clean indeed. Okay. Yes, I am. Indeed, indeed. My goodness, the amount of breaking news. Holy cow. This is the noon report. Yep. Yes, it is. And we're going to bring it all to you. Wow. The news is fast and furious, folks. This is the noon report. There's everybody filing in. This is one you're going to want to share, and we have a lot of information here. And I'm going to give you some exclusive information as well, as is the norm. Now, folks, tonight, just to remind everybody, Facebook Live, one with Mark. That's the plan. Could be altered, but we're planning first one on the scene live stream tomorrow night. Cranston PD Live. How about that lady yesterday at Subway? And we have developments with that. There's David San Martino. Folks, I want you to understand. I call him Officer David, Team One. We're communicating every day, right? And now the news is fast and furious. There's Crystal. Hola. I know. There's Ann. Terrible, terrible news. It gets even worse. And before we're going to be live on the radio in just a moment, I want all of you to know there is a sensitivity here because it involves children and potentially maybe even some of his children. So want to be really cautious. But those of you that follow know, yesterday you go on the Facebook page, I posted, if you thought the story with Matt Riley couldn't get worse, it is about to get worse. Many of you know many times Juan speaks cryptically in code simply because I'm not ready to fully share things. But I'll give you an update. And how about Mark Perkins has filed a no trespass against the chosen one. We'll tell you about that, but the Smithfield story is also major. But we're going to start off, especially, hi there, everybody. You have to be. Hey, there are young children involved here. So we're live. There's Roberta Farrell. Folks, we're all thinking of her. Thumbs up. Thank you for the stars. Let me address that before you don't miss anything. The commercial pauses it for 5 seconds. You're not missing anything. So stop saying that. I hate when there's commercials. You don't miss anything. It's a 5 second pause. Listen, I love the commercials. People want to have commercials. That's how big the program is. Don't ever say you hate the commercials. I love them. It's a compliment. You don't miss anything. The show is paused for 5 seconds. Live with it. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, Bendy. All right. All right. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting. I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. Here we go. Okay. There's Sammy. I will. We're going to be live on the radio in a moment. Don't call me bro. Folks, good afternoon right now. It is 12:06. All right, let me explain something. Everybody on Facebook. Bro, get to the story. At 12:06 right now, we are now, boom, live on the radio. So this is when the show officially starts, bro. So that's why I'm waiting so I don't have to say things twice, bro, for the radio audience to get to us. So you're going to wait. You have two options. The way I see this, there's three options. One, we could just ban an annoying person, which is option one. Two, you just be quiet and wait for the program to officially start, which now it has. Or three, you continue to annoy and then you're never seen again. So those are, bro, the options. Just get to the story. Oh my God, the annoyance. Listen, I attract them. Obviously, magnets. is what want is. Magnets is what it is. I'm just gonna. I can't. Who needs them? We're on our way to 51,000. Where's the bro? Bro, just get to the story. That's it. That's it. I've had it. We're starting off. Who needs it? Who needs it? Like I need that? We don't need it. Content good. Ban him. Ban him, Roberta. I'm in that type of mood. All right, folks, this is the news report. I can't stand that. It's someone, listen, he's not a subscriber anyway. Right? All right. At 12:07, but I want to let's refocus here. Thank you, Ann and Roberta. These people annoy no sense. Just like the lady yesterday. Now, there is um there's charges being filed against the driver yesterday in Smithfield. I'm going to get to that, but I really want to get to the Matt Riley story first. Good afternoon, one and all. This is the Noon Report Live, 12 noon, brought to you by PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Would I really ban someone over bro? Just get to the yes. As we're about to hit 51,000, Meta expects us to be over 60,000 by Labor Day. Yes. So what? One less creep. Who needs it? We don't. That's the good news. It's not like, well, can't afford to lose them. We can. We can. And also, enough of this. This nonstop complaining. I hate that you don't miss anything with the commercials. It's pause. That's a compliment. Yeah, but you're the only one doing Facebook Live Rhode Island with commercials. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because we have over 50,000 followers of the page. It's a 5-second thing. It makes it run. All right, PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Vegetables and herbs, annuals, perennials, hangers, 10-inch, 12-inch moss baskets, 12-inch patio pots. Stop it and see them. 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Father's Day is coming up. Right off Route 4. Stop it and see them. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Now, I want to be very clear. Also, folks, check out the website. If you missed anything, Smithfield yesterday. That is such a horrible story. That is one of those things. That could have been anyone. Now, there was a fatality, as we reported. If you log on to DePetro.com, you can see all the video from yesterday, including the woman that started swearing at me, cursing at the chosen one, saying I was blocking the view of a 2-year-old that wanted to see the fatal scene. Folks, listen, I've dealt with the dog whistle thing for a long time. Part of it makes the program more entertaining, no doubt, but it just happens. One thing I know, when you have a crime scene, and it was a crime scene with the tape, here's what we have learned. If there's a nut, take a guess who they're going to grab it to. I am like a magnet, like we're finding. It's just a matter of till the nut shows themselves. But they will reveal themselves, and they reveal themselves to me because I have this dog whistle effect where I just my voice, whatever, my presence, my voice, it just strikes them, and they just start acting like a maniac, like that woman swearing. You're blocking the view of a 2-year-old that wants to see the fatal car accident scene. Now, I am going to get to that. And all of that is posted on the website, depetro.com, including the latest with the Charlotte Lester case that, as a result of the posting, has resulted in orange ski mask man going to the Warwick police on the chosen one. I know, as if it couldn't get any more bizarre. I'll get to that as well. But it's all on the website, depetro.com, brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Lunch, dinner, drinks in the lounge. They're waiting for you at the Coesit Inn. Now, yesterday, on both Facebook and Twitter, I posted along the lines of, if you didn't think things could get worse for former city councilman Matt Riley, guess again, they could. So, and one of the reasons I was about to do a story on it yesterday, but then we got called to the breaking news in Smithfield. But more news is coming out on him. And I want to, wow. Okay. So here's what I understand about Matt Riley, former city councilman. You remember the body cam, smoking crack on a Monday in where the it was a hair salon on Pontiac Avenue. So here's what we're learning, and I do want to know the latest. So I had heard. Now there's a different twist to this that I'm going to try to find out about. Um, Now I had heard that yesterday that Cranston police showed up at the Kent County Courthouse in Warwick yesterday, and they were looking to arrest him. And the reason is, now he was supposedly, they had reason to believe he was going to be there, was because he's going through this divorce proceeding. Now this is different. Okay, so this is really breaking fast. Um, well, anyhow, and then we got we went to Smithfield. But I'll just report what we're learning here. Embattled former city councilman Cranston, Matt Riley's been arrested again, this time on sexual assault charges. So this is a whole different story. Let me see what he has, and I'll tell you what I. Let's see. Riley arrested again, sexual assault, child molestation, taken into custody Thursday, according to Cranston Police Major Todd Padalano. Former councilman's facing three counts: first-degree child molestation, sexual assault; second-degree child molestation, sexual assault; enticement of a person under the age of 16. Police allege the charges stem from an incident on May 3rd. He was arraigned and ordered held without bail. Second criminal charge against Riley. Now, let me just see about this. Okay. Now, I had heard that when they went to get him yesterday at the courthouse, they were told he wasn't there. He was in a 30-day treatment program. So it would seem that it was unclear whether or not he was still in the treatment program. But now Channel 10 is also saying court records show he's facing felony charges for first degree child molestation, second degree, blah, blah, blah. All right. I want to back up on this. So let's see. It first came out he's arrested on alleged child sex charges. Whew. News release expected. So we'll look for that from the Cranston police. Now, I initially had heard there could be another incident involved here. And I had also heard that, and this is such, I wouldn't even, this is no longer even a fall from grace, um, that there could be another incident that happened, I'm hearing, in Barrington. So now that has not been reported as of yet, but I'm hearing that there could be something in Barrington. Now, I want to explain why I was going very cautiously regarding this news that we learned about yesterday, and it was because of that it's potentially, now we don't know that much, but potentially that he's been arrested on alleged child sex charges. Now, where this is really disturbing is, and where I want to be really clear, folks, we have to be cautious. There are different times. I am like, you're fearful of self-harm. The other night, Monday night, I knew there was a jumper on the Newport Bridge. We didn't do that story. I didn't go because of we're hearing potentially self-harm. Okay, now surrendered with lawyer and arrested. Okay, now I had heard they were looking for him at the Kent County Courthouse yesterday. So now I'll give credit to our friend Gina, Channel 10, surrendered with lawyer and arrested. I mean, it's just so terrible what is happening here. But there's potentially, I'm hearing, that there is another incident that happened in Barrington. Now, one of the reasons why we want to be very cautious here is first degree child molestation, sexual assault; second degree is under the age of 16, is potentially that it could be, and this is disturbing to report, but we're adults, and you have a right, I think, can handle this and understand it more importantly. bro. But the one of the things that's problematic, or why, let me just cut to the chase. It could be a friend of one of his children. Now, it is my understanding that he has, I don't know the exact ages, but one of the children could be in the vicinity of 12 to 13. So, where this really goes off is it sure sounds that that is, in fact, the case. Like I said, I had learned they showed up at the Kent County Courthouse yesterday looking for him. He wasn't there because he was supposed to be involved with a divorce proceeding, but that he was in a 30-day rehab. Maybe he had to leave the rehab. Maybe the rehab is completed. Doesn't sound like it from when the body cam happened, but what we want to be cautious of, it's my understanding they had Cranston police had text messages. They arrested him. I don't know, but I'm hearing could be another incident involving a minor in Barrington. And I want to, let's really look at this, folks. Okay, it is news, no question about it. He's no longer holding office, so that weighs into it. It's not like he's still holding on, but where I think, and myself, I'll tell you why proceed with caution is because of who knows what could happen when you have someone who is of that, 12 or 13, whether it be either one of his children or the young person in question, if then suddenly it kind of takes off and explodes in that manner. So now juveniles are treated differently. I'm sure the Cranston police are going to handle this appropriately, doing it by the book, surrendered to police, brought into custody, is being held without bail. Matt Riley is in an awful lot of trouble. But I want to just again point out, I think there has to, at least on my part, there should be a cautious nature. You don't know how a very young person might react that something like this would be thrust into the news. So now you know it is really breaking out there. I haven't seen anything as of yet about this Barrington incident that I want to look at the timetable here. So he was arrested, the body cam. I mean, they're saying that something happened May 3rd. On May 3rd is when something allegedly happened with this minor. Now, if we go on to the timeline here of when he was arrested with the whole crack pipe, that it happened on a Monday, and let's see, Monday, that was Monday, May 22nd. So Monday, May 22nd was when he was arrested with the crack pipe. By the way, that also was quite the week for the Cranston police, because then the Wednesday was when they shot the Johnston killer in Cranston. So he was the crack pipe that Monday, and then you had the shooting was the Wednesday, and then the Memorial Day weekend. So they're saying that this situation with the minor happened in and around May 3rd. So it is a nightmare scenario for his. I mean, there is a wife. There is that situation where he's almost pleading with the police that he was going to go into rehab. Oh, wow. McKee email just released. All right, so we are really breaking news here. What time is it? 12:21. Now the McKee email has been released. Okay, has released the email. Uh, okay, here's part of it. I'll give credit. Brian Crandall. We're writing to you to outline a series of bizarre, offensive, unprofessional actions from director David Patton and director Jim Thorson. We're embarrassed, shocked, and frankly at an impasse how to work with people blatantly sexist, racist, unprofessional. This reflects incredibly poor in the state of Rhode Island and their leadership. There were many off-color, bizarre, concerning remarks. We're going to focus on the two most egregious racist examples, hopefully shed some light on the situation. So now that is, again, this is all just breaking. Let me see what more we are pulling up. All right, that's the first paragraph. Now, I'm seeing Brian Crandall of Channel 10 has it. I wonder if McKee staggered it so Channel 12 gets it second. I don't see anything as of yet from the Channel 12 crew. So now this sounds like this is happening in real time. And so McKee is releasing part of the email. Now, Tim White does not have anything. Let me see Eli Sherman. Folks, right now this is all happening in real time. Eli doesn't have anything, and I'll go for Ted Nesi. So you wonder maybe they first released it to Channel 10 because the governor hates Channel 12 so much. Wow, what a Thursday. McKee email released. So you have Matt Riley in Cranston arrested. Sounds like allegations of some kind of facing charge, sexual assault, child molestation, someone under the age of 16. I've heard the minor could be either 12 or 13 years old. Wow, there's that. Let me follow the Crandall. Wow, there he is. Arrested again. Whew. All right, let me, I want to follow the Crandall thing just with this email. And then see where we land with that. Okay. Let's see. Brian Crandall of NBC 10. So they've released the email. That's the first paragraph. All right, so we're going to come back to that in just a moment. Now, we've also learned that there are going to be criminal charges. Let me just mention on the Smithfield subway incident from yesterday. And for those of you that were watching first on the scene live stream, one of the things that came into play was there was the witness we had, and she was terrific, that said that she believed that there had been a hit and run coming from the cellos. So the car was traveling at a high rate of speed and then slammed into the subway in Smithfield yesterday. So it's very possible that, who knows, someone coming out of potentially the cellos, let's be honest, a late lunch, maybe they had been drinking, but traveling at a high rate of speed. But that is someone who has been arrested. Now, I want to stay on schedule. Folks, again, this portion of the program is brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. For all your medical needs, they're open 7 days a week, 2 locations, 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston, and also 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care. This is where you want to go instead of waiting at an emergency room. AtMed Urgent Care. 7 days a week, doctors, nurses go there for treatment. Now, what also jumps out at me in this email, this McKee email, folks, and I recognize we're juggling several stories here at once, is what is interesting to me is that they're throwing both of them in. So initially, the focus was on director David Patton. In this email, they also go after this guy, Jim Thorson, who is now moved on. And they're claiming that these were egregious racist statements. Sexist, racist, unprofessional. That's what the email states. So we're trying to find out exactly. Okay, here we go. Brian Crandall just released another part of it. And during our visit, Patton stayed speaking with an employee. They offered him a pair of sneakers from their stock. Upon receiving the sneakers, he apparently said, Are these made in China? I hope not, because I really hate China. Then proceeded to direct his attention to a female Asian staff member in the room. No offense, huh? The CEO is livid and has asked for their information to file a public complaint if these are government officials. He is also married to a Chinese woman, has two half Chinese children. So, all right, so they're there. This is what we're learning with the Philadelphia visit. So, Patton stayed speaking with an employee, offered him a pair of sneakers. He said, "Are these made in China? I hope not. Really hate China." Then goes to a female Asian staff member. No offense. The CEO was livid, then asked for their information to file a public complaint if they're government officials. He's married to a Chinese woman. That's what this whole thing is over? Because the guy said he hates China? That's what this is what Governor McKee has the state police investigating? Are you kidding me? This is what it's over? China's threatening our warships. Not the most politically incorrect thing. This is what this is over? I hope they're not made in China. I hate China. Oh, no offense. This is what they're so upset over? Please tell me there's more than this. All right, we're going to jump back to this. I know I'm juggling several stories here. Let me see if anyone else has this. And I think Governor McKee's purposely withholding the email from Channel 12. Right now, the only ones that have it are Brian Crandall of NBC 10. So maybe they're staggering releasing the email. Okay, Eli Sherman just tweeted, "Stand by, we get the email coming, story coming." That's what the whole thing is over? Like, are you kidding me? That's what's more shocking is that's what Governor McKee has the state police looking at. Because they offer the guy a pair of sneakers for whatever reason. Now, it's kind of a stupid thing to say, but it's not. That's what this whole thing is over. That Governor McKee has the Rhode Island State Police investigating. The two guys from Rhode Island go to Philadelphia. While they're there, they're offered a pair of sneakers. Let me just see if this continues. Oh, okay. He's got more. This is Crandall. A text received at midnight the night before the visit said, "Please have." Oh, a text received at midnight the night before saying, "Please have French coffee with milk and sugar and the best croissant in Philadelphia ready for me upon arrival. Director Thorson likes Diet Coke. Have a cold six-pack waiting on the table in your conference room. You have 3 hours to convince us to give you $55 million." Okay. Asking a child care provider in the building for them to send them a copy of the state license inspection. Okay. Says they want lunch at the Michelin star restaurant located at certain place. Lindsay tells them that it's not open for lunch and is told, "Well, can you call in a favor if you want $55 million in funding? We arranged for a private lunch, which never happened in the history of the project." Okay, so far, I'm at a loss as to what is the big deal here. So they're coming in and saying, "We have 55 million potentially in funding. Here's what." So they're playing the heavy. You want the 55 million? We want French coffee, milk and sugar. Make sure this is the restaurant we want to eat at. He wants Diet Coke. I want coffee. And then makes the comment about China. This is the big deal? This is what they're so upset about? Do these people in Philadelphia realize they're pitching these two state officials for 55 million? This is what the whole thing is over? It's got to be more than this. It's got to be more than this. Otherwise, bizarre, offensive, unprofessional actions, shocked how to blatantly sexist because they asked for the coffee and the Diet Coke, racist, all right, the China thing could go either way, unprofessional, this is the restaurant we want to eat at. You want the 55 million? This is where we want to eat. Off-color, bizarre, concerning remarks. What did they think this was going to be? Wow. That's what these people are so upset about? Have these people ever done business before? Yeah, it does. You got 3 hours to fire that prosecutor if you want the Biden situation. What? Why didn't McKee? This is what the McKee. This is, you know what's so frightening is this is how the McKee people handle this. When the guy's put on administrative leave for this? Wow. This is embarrassing how the state of Rhode Island is handling it. Because they said, all right, we want French coffee, we want Diet Coke, and here's the restaurant we want. Do you want the 55 million or not? Hey, good news. You're not getting the 55 million. This this is what has caused this whole thing. This is embarrassing if this is how the McKee people handled it. Listen, they're coming in. Hey, they didn't say they want a couple hookers in a limo and an 8 ball for crying out loud. We got 55 million. You want our 55 million? Okay. We want to eat at that Italian restaurant. He likes Diet Coke and I like um, whatever. I know he said French coffee, but it's normally like you go to Dunkin' Donuts, I'll have a French vanilla iced coffee. This is what has these people so upset that they were being treated in this manner. Then guess what? This isn't who you're doing business with. He's not Mel in Scarface saying, I'm taking the missus, so throw in a couple of first class round trip tickets to London, right? Hey, Mel, how about a first class ticket to the resurrection? It's not the senator in Godfather 2 where he says, and I'll expect how much money I want, and I'll expect you to put up the money for the license. And then Michael Corleone says, Senator, my offer is this nothing. I want French vanilla. He wants Diet Coke. And we want to eat at that restaurant. Well, they're not open for lunch. Well, like, whatever. Get creative. Get creative about it. Like, what is the deal? What's so disturbing to me is how the McKee people reacted to this. What an embarrassment. That's so the people in Philadelphia, they were so upset. You're unprofessional. You're sexist, racist. How dare you give us orders of what you want to drink and eat? Hey, they got 55 million in your pocket. Come on. Like this is just again, I would have told these people, well, sorry you feel that way. They will be clear of what they want to eat and drink. All right, the Chinese sneaker thing, let's not like get crazy over this whole thing. This is what they're so upset about. That one of them said, I hope those aren't from China. I hate China. Hey, who knows? Maybe he had just watched the Trump town hall. A text received at midnight. They actually mentioned this in the email. We want, please have French coffee, milk sugar, best croissants in Philly. Thorson wants the Diet Coke. Have a cold 6-pack on the table waiting in a conference room of the Diet Coke. You have 3 hours to convince us to give you 55 million. Yes, you know what? That's exactly what's happening here. You have a child care provider in the building. We want to see a copy of their state license inspection. Okay, why is that a problem? Says they want lunch at the Michelin star restaurant located. We say, well, they're not open for lunch. Well, call in a favor if you want the 55 million in funding. We arranged for a private lunch, which has never happened in the history of the project. Hey, too bad. That's where they want to eat. Do you want the 55 mil or not? then like whatever. Talk to them. Get creative here. Wow, this is just absurd. You have got to be kidding me. This is what Governor McKee has gone through hoops on. This is ludicrous. Then these are not the type of people. And you know what? I want to just touch on this, folks. Is the fact that let me see if there's another. The problem with a lot of these people that work with the homeless, they tend to be social workers. They don't realize this is a business transaction. You want 55 million from the state of Rhode Island. So these are not unreasonable requests. There is right now you have the NBA finals, the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. And let me tell you, there is somewhere, as the series is going to shift to Miami, there is somewhere someone selling something in Miami. And you know what someone who's doing business in Miami is going to say? We got your proposal and you want whatever. You want us to buy 10 million of your insurance or your bonds or invest certain amount. You know what would really make us you know what would look great to us? How about a couple of tickets to the Heat Nuggets NBA Finals? Like, come on, welcome to the business world. Are you kidding? This is what these people get upset about. And my point is, what is so disturbing is the McKee people are caving to it. Like, what? All right, the China thing, that's just a stupid remark, but it's not like the guy had a swastika tattoo. Oh, the Seekers, they're not made in China, are they? I hate China. Well, maybe he has a nephew who's in the Navy and they just got buzzed by one of the Chinese warships. I mean, again, it's not like the best thing to say, but he didn't say that reminds me of a knock knock joke, you know? But a Chinese laundry for crying out loud. This is what this is what these people get upset about. Wow. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro show. Now, I want to remind people, if you want to see rapid aggressive weight loss, you want to call Sandra today, 401-269-9155. If you're listening or watching right now and you would like to and need to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, maybe more, 50 pounds. Well, we're talking about aggressive weight loss. Unique Health, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Unique Health, they have a program that will target your stubborn fat and then watch those pounds fall off. We're talking 20 pounds in 10 days. 20 pounds in 10 days. Today is Thursday, June 8th. How about this? 4th of July, you're going to a barbecue, you're going to wherever, seeing your friends at and you're down 25 pounds. That could be you. You're going on vacation July and August. Why not get rid of the weight? Call Sandra. Free seminar next week. 401-269-9155. There's no benefit to being obese. There's no benefit to being obese. Free seminar. Unique Health. 401-269-9155. It's not a diet change. It's a lifestyle change. Extreme weight loss. Unique Health. Look for them on Facebook and also Instagram. They're right in Warwick, across from the Kent County Courthouse. Unique Health, 401-269-9155. Folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. Just some programming notes tonight. Who knows what's going to happen this afternoon? Tonight, we will be out first one on the scene live stream, and then tomorrow night, Cranston PD Live. Now, repeating our top stories, and there's a lot of them, for this noon report lunch hour. It has to do with you have the situation where Matt Riley in Cranston, his people thought he had bottomed out when he got arrested with the crack pipe in his hand in the parking lot at the Cranston Hair Salon. And people felt, Matt, you have totally bottomed out. Matt Riley's like, hold my beer, hold my crack pipe. Watch this. Arrested again This time, sexual assault, child molestation. Whew. Someone, enticement of a person under the age of 16. 3 counts: first degree child molestation, sexual assault, second degree. He was arraigned Thursday, held and ordered held without bail. Wow. Now, that's not your imagination. He was the one arrested. And that was the oh, okay. I think he has Mike Lepazera. So now you have that. Then you also have. I'll talk about the Perkins thing later. That can wait. Now we also have had Governor McKee has released the email that he. I'm just at a loss to understand why they were withholding this whole thing. So now, right now, it's 12:43. Now, Channel 10 got it first, and I still don't understand why they felt. And I'm also thrown at someone that was telling me that like how bad it was. This, let me be very clear. Well, one thing we know, why does he have the state police investigating this? This is Governor McKee. The state police is looking into this. Over what? Over the fact the guy said, "Are those sneakers from China? I hate China." Like what? That's what you they have the Rhode Island State Police investigating that the guys said, "All right, we're going to arrive tomorrow. We want French coffee and we want French vanilla and we want Diet Coke and we want food from that Italian restaurant near you. And we have 55 million hanging in the balance. Good luck." What? That's why Governor McKee has the state police involved. Folks, this is, again, this is like, should we really be surprised? Think of, as we had speculated, the things that you would involve the police with. You would involve them with a crime. There had been theft. There had been unwanted touching, which could be considered assault. There was a threat of some kind. Is that what are they alleging? Is Governor McKee saying the state police is investigating when they said you have 3 hours to convince us we should give you 55 million, that is a threat? I want to remind people who the lobbyist is or was for this operation in Philadelphia. The guy that was mixed up with the Mattiello sleaze factor. So maybe we shouldn't be surprised. The fact these people sent this email is embarrassing. The fact that the McKee people are behaving in this manner is even more embarrassing. Now, I also understand, let me just check. I know Channel 6 is reporting they believe that the driver in the subway Smithfield crash is going to face criminal charges. That would The driver, left from Cello's believed to be drunk, hit multiple cars before speeding and crashing into the subway. Well, the that's interesting that we were speaking, if you saw the video we have yesterday, as we did on the scene live stream, and we had the witness that said it was her understanding he had hit a car coming from the Cellos, and I was speculating about that. So it's interesting to me, folks, how sometimes when we're there and we're piecing together different information, it kind of does prove to be true. So I am at a loss over the over this situation with the McKee email. So just to recap here. So you have Matt Riley has been arrested again, this time potentially a child sex charge. That is very, very, very serious. Enticement of a person under the age of 16. With this, I would just say that number one, obviously it's a minor, so we're not going to know who that is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Um, but the other part of this, thank you, Ian, and there's Roberta as well. So that's not necessarily news. Okay. Riley is in the Kent County courthouse cell. So now I am also going to find, I've heard he was arrested by Barrington for soliciting a minor the other day. So it's just piling up and getting worse. Yes. Well, I don't, again, there's only so many details, and I want to remind people, everyone's going to handle this differently. I don't tell other media, I don't tell other media how they should treat stories. And I don't like when they tell me how to treat a story. But I'll just share with you one of the reasons why I was proceeding cautiously with this is just because of that. That you have real children involved here, 12, 13 years old. Um, uh, I've heard it was potentially a friend of one of his children. So that's so brutal to listen to and hard. Um, and so therefore we listen. There is a situation here where there has to be a sensitivity, and I'll give you another just example. Is I know more about the Johnson case. I'm withholding information. You have a young 15-year-old who just who was also injured, but then also lost her father. So there are certain things that we withhold. I think so. Anyway, I do. Regarding this case, they're even younger. You have real juveniles, and then you even have real young children involved. So there's also there are certain parts of this that will be kept from the public because of the nature of the case. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, it's brought to you by Falcon Pest Services. Call them today, 401-739-1322. Falcon Pest Services. Residential or commercial, Falcon Pest Services, serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Do you need the Terminator? Do you need an exterminator? Falcon Pest Services for termites, bed bugs, ants, roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, many of the pests, multifamily housing, condos, apartments, single family homes, extermination services for restaurants, office buildings, schools, hotels. Maybe it's once, maybe it's once a month, maybe it's once a week. Falcon Pest Services. Get rid of them. Let me also explain something. There's no benefit to having ants. Don't they look cute? No, they don't. There's no benefit for having roaches. Wrongo. Well, some people no. It adds a little mystique to. No, it adds no mystique. Well, a lot of people say it's kind of quaint to have mice. No, it's not. No, get rid of them. Falcon Pest Services will get rid of them. 401-739-1322. Falcon. Think of the Falcon swooping in. Falcon Pest Services. You can also find them on Facebook. I feel like Al Pacino in Heat when Tone Loc tells him he saw a guy, and if he hadn't said something, I wouldn't have thought nothing. But he going on and on about nothing's going on, so I knew he's got something going on. And if you know the film, Al Pacino, he basically says like, "Well, I am just over blanking whelmed." It turns out it's actually really pertinent information. But I am this is the email from the McKee people they've been hiding. This it took it to this. This he's hiding from the media. What I find even more shocking is that Governor McKee. This is very problematic. That Governor McKee actually thought we better have the Rhode Island State Police take a look at this email regarding the actions of what happened in Philadelphia. I am like that he thought They had they kicked it to the state police in April. Here's a spoiler alert. There's no crime here. Can you imagine if these people called Philadelphia police? We'd like to report a crime. Okay, what happened? Well, we had these guys coming in from Rhode Island. Okay. And we offered them a pair of sneakers, right? And one of them said, "Oh, I hope they're not from China. I hate China." Okay. So did they steal them? No, that's what he said. I hate China. Our CEO is livid. He's married to a Chinese woman, has half Chinese children. How is the person supposed to know that? All right, all right. What else did they do? Get to the part about the crime. All right, well, here's where it gets good. You may have to extradite them. First, tell us what happened. Well, we got a text the night before. Oh, were they threatening you? No. What did they say? We'd like French vanilla coffee and Diet Coke. Okay. Otherwise, you have to convince us to give this the 55 million. So we think it should be an extortion. If you don't serve us Diet Coke and French vanilla, you're not going to get the 55 million. Okay, it's a little thin, a little weak. Okay, but here's the other thing. They wanted us to serve them lunch from an Italian restaurant. What's the problem with that? Well, they're not open for lunch. So they said, well, you know, get creative if you want the 55 million. So we feel they're being extorted an Italian restaurant lunch, Diet Coke, and French vanilla coffee, or we're not getting the 55 million. Huh. Well, it certainly sounds like we should send it to a grand jury. What I find, as I've said, folks, at the risk of being redundant, is that the McKee people, this is why that guy has been out on leave, paid leave, over this. Like over this. What part? The Diet Coke? The French vanilla? They don't travel a lot. They're two guys from Rhode Island that are flying one day, flying to Philadelphia. We're going to meet with you. We're going to be there for 3 hours. Oh, we're going to be there at lunchtime. We'd like some Italian food. We want a Diet Coke. This isn't Van Halen with the writer saying, "Take out the yellow M&Ms." This isn't have some escorts and an 8 ball and a full bar ready to go. We want Diet Coke, French vanilla, and we'd like to eat from that Italian restaurant. Well, they're not open for lunch. Well, then figure it out. You think we care? Whatever. Order the night before and then just heat it up for us. But that's what we want. What, are you not going to serve us lunch? This is why they're appalled. This is what has caused this big uproar. And what makes matters worse is not only did Governor McKee hide the email, what I am just astounded at is that he actually kicked it to the state police to investigate. What, the China remark? Oh, are those sneakers from China? I hate China. All right. I mean, definitely. I don't know if that's what you'd say. They offered him a pair of sneakers. Maybe because they're walking. I don't know why they were offering a pair of sneakers from their stock. We also have a pair of sneakers for you. Oh, okay. What size are you? I don't know. 10 and a half. Are these made in China? I hope not. I hate China. He goes to a female Asian staff member. Oh, sorry. No offense. I don't know. Are they made in the USA? I guess he could have said, all right. So I wouldn't have said, I really hate China. We are kind of at war with them right now, right? We're kind of battling them. They're helping Russia. They are maybe going to invade Taiwan. A lot of our people in political office talk pretty tough about China, maybe because of the coronavirus. I'm not going to get inside this guy's mind. I don't know if I would have said that. Let me come back to I wouldn't have put the whole business of you have 3 hours to convince us to give you 55 million. All right, I guess they didn't have to put that. We're going to be there for 3 hours, period. If they want to, maybe don't put the to convince us to give you 55 million. Here's what's missing. A text was received. Did they say, tell us what you'd like for to eat or drink? We plan to serve you lunch. Did they say that? I mean, it's missing from what Crandall has put out, and they purposely got it late to Channel 12 that has not put out a story on it. But the element of Governor McKee giving this to the state police to look at is embarrassing. That's just stupid. It's stupid. This is why this guy has been on paid leave. This is why he's been out. Because of that. Because of what? The French vanilla? The Diet Coke? The, read The Prince of Providence. Bob Dylan's bus was going to leave. The CNC people said the mayor would like a photo with Bob Dylan. They're like, oh, he doesn't do photo ops. They're like, oh, in that case, Providence police may search your bus for drugs. On second thought, Bob would love to take a photo with Mayor CNC. I mean, come on. This is petty. All right, you're going to serve us lunch and dinner. We want some Italian food. Heard there's a good place over there. And we want Diet Coke and French vanilla. How dare you? I mean, this is. Wow. That is really something. Wow. That is what has got this whole thing. This is what Governor McKee didn't want to release. This email. This email. There was no touching. There was no threatening. There's nothing there. So the people were upset. And again, I'm going to imagine that there was some kind of, I've gotten that. What would you, I've had where I'm going to have a business meeting and they say we plan to order and they send you the menu. What would you like to order from? I have been on business trips in every major city in the United States, and many times, do you have a favorite restaurant you'd like to go to? Yes, as a matter of fact. I'd like to go to whatever, the Palm. I'd like to go to the Capitol Grill. Great. This is why they're so upset. Over what? The China remark? Again, stupid remark. He did say no offense. I wouldn't. All right, here's what's going to happen. We are doing Facebook Live later. We have another full hour to go of the radio show, but we're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. Folks, the big news, the email is out. Matt Riley arrested again. We're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. Another full hour to go. Leave it right here on the John DePetro Show.